Welcome. Today we will discuss mathematical analysis to obtain the expression of current, armature current in converter fed separately excited DC motor. This is the circuit diagram. So, the armature current dynamics is expressed in the by the differential equation, that is R A into I A plus L A into d I A by d t plus instantaneous back EMF E B equals to V A, and the speed dynamic equation is given by J d omega m by dt plus T L equal to K phi. IA is the instantaneous armature current, EB and VA are also instantaneous back EMF and converter output voltage respectively. First equation is obtained by applying the KVL to the armature circuit, and second equation is the torque balance equation. So, these two equations, differential equations, have to be solved simultaneously to obtain the expression for the instantaneous current IA. But it is a difficult process because two differential equations are involved, but solution can be made easier if we neglect the speed dynamics. That means, speed is a slowly varying quantity, whereas armature current IA varies very fast. Speed time constant is large, armature time constant is low. So, if we neglect the speed dynamics, that means we assume the speed to be constant for over a long duration when the armature current is changing, then the second equation will not have any effect in the armature current expression. So, we can solve only the first differential equation to get the armature current expression. So, we neglect the speed dynamics, so we neglect the second equation, we assume the speed to be constant when the armature current is changing. That is quite justified assumption and quite reasonable. So, it gives fairly good result, close result. So, in this equation 1, first equation, back EMF E B is K phi into omega. Here the motor speed omega m is written as omega by mistake in back EMF expression. So, omega is the instantaneous speed. So, when we neglect the speed dynamics, we assume the speed to be constant. Now, E B is replaced by average value E B, which is constant, and V A is the voltage applied to the motor. So, there are different modes in the converter. We can consider the converter to be full converter or semi converter. Both options will keep full, we can get full converter or semi converter. So, different modes are mode 1, that is power on period. Power on interval implies motor is connected to AC supply. That means, thyristors 1, 2, 3, 4 switches are there. If thyristors 1, 2 are conducting, motor is connected to plus Vs, and if thyristors 3 and 4 are connecting, motor is connected to minus Vs. So, this is the power on interval, motor is connected to AC, DC motor is connected to AC supply. So, during this mode, let us consider V A is root 2 V S sin omega t. Here omega equals to 2 pi f is the angular frequency of the supply AC voltage. Peak value is root 2 V S and sinusoidal expression for the supply voltage. And mode 2 is the freewheeling period. it is present only in semi converter, it is absent in full converter, freewheeling is present only in semi converter, it is the freewheeling interval. So, it starts from omega t equals to pi the freewheeling interval omega t between pi to pi plus alpha. During this interval V A voltage applied to the motor is 0. Then we have mode 3, if armature current is discontinuous, then mode 3 is the case when I A equals to 0, armature current is 0. This is called the coasting interval. So, this interval is present from omega t between beta to pi plus alpha. At beta the current comes to 0, switch off angle, turn off angle, and till the next character is paired phi plus alpha, this is the coasting period. And mode 1 is the power on interval, when the DC motor is connected to AC supply, this is present from alpha omega t from alpha to pi plus alpha or pi plus alpha for full converter and pi for semi converter. So, let us consider mode 1. The equation is R A I A, resistance drop, inductive voltage L d I A by dt plus back EMF is E B, the average back EMF, equals to root 2 V S sin omega t. This is the differential equation. So, to solve this differential equation, so you can try. So, there is a trick to solve this differential equation. Let us take the back EMF to the right hand side, so that equation changes to R A I A plus L A d I A by dt equals to root 2 V S sin omega t minus back EMF E B. So, this is the new differential equation in a new form. So, how to solve this differential equation? You see, left hand side indicates it is for a RL circuit, resistance is RA, inductance is LA, RL circuit, and right hand side indicates there are two sources, one AC source sinusoidal and one DC source minus EB. And because this is simply RL circuit, only R and L are there, so we can apply superposition principle. In superposition principle, we consider two sources individually, AC source and DC source individually, find their response and find the complete response. So, now we can write I A equals to steady state component due to source 1 plus steady state component due to source 2 plus transient component. Because this is a differential equation, there will be a transient term depends upon the initial constant and it decays exponentially. So, transient term I t is some, let us write I 0 into e to the power minus R A t by L A, because simply RL circuit, it will depend upon some initial constant initial I 0 and it decays exponentially. And ISS 1 is the steady state current due to AC source, and because this RL circuit, you know what will be the response of ISS 1 steady state value, it is root 2 V S by Z A sin of omega t minus theta z, where Z A is R A square plus omega L A whole square root over impedance, and theta z is the impedance angle, that is tan inverse of omega L by L A by R A, impedance angle. So, this is steady state current 1. And what about the transient steady state current 2, ISS 2? This is RL circuit and after DC source is minus EB. So, what is the steady state current? Minus EB by RA. Now, complete expression for the armature current I A is root 2 V s by Z A sin omega t minus theta z minus E b by R A plus I 0 into e to the power minus R A t by L A. Now, we will determine this initial constant I 0 when omega t equals to alpha stat of mode 1, I A equals to some I alpha, let us write initial value when the mode 1 starts is I alpha. Then applying the condition, now I alpha equals to root 2 V s by z sin of alpha minus theta z minus E b by R A plus I 0 e to the power minus R A alpha by omega L A. So, we can write I 0 equals to I alpha minus root 2 V s by z sin alpha minus z plus E b by R A whole into e to the power R A alpha divided by omega L A. So, this is the expression for I 0, the initial value of the transient component, and this I 0 will be substituted in the expression for I A to get the complete expression for the current. So, I A equals to root 2 V s by Z A sin of omega t minus theta z minus E b by R A steady state 1 and 2. Then transient component is I alpha minus root 2 V s by z Z A sin alpha minus theta z plus E b by R A. This is the bracketed term is I 0, we have derived in the previous slide, into whole into e to the power R A alpha by omega L A. This is I 0 into e to the power minus R A t by omega L A. So, with this we can write I A equals to root 2 V s by Z A sin of omega t minus theta z minus sin of alpha minus theta z e to the power R A by omega L A alpha minus omega t. Here omega is there. This is one term, then plus E b by R A e to the power R A by omega L A alpha minus omega t minus 1 plus I alpha e to the power R A by omega L A alpha minus omega t. So, this is the complete expression for armature current in mode 1, 3 terms. Then we will discuss the mode 2 freewheeling interval. So, this is for omega t between pi to pi plus alpha. So, during this period V A is 0 because machine terminals are short circuited. So, then differential equation is R A I A plus L A d I A by d t plus average back EMF E b equals to 0 because machine terminals are circuited. So, this implies R A I A plus L A d I by d t equals to minus of E b. So, you have applied only DC source is applied. So, this implies I A is some I S S and steady state current and transient current. What is steady state current? Steady state current is minus E b by R A. And what is the transient component? transient component is let us say some initial value I 1 and it decays exponentially R A t by L A. So, with that we can write I A is minus E B by R A plus I 1 into e to the power minus R A t by L A. Initial condition for this mode at omega t equals to pi, when the mode starts, the initial value of the current is I pi. This I pi is obtained from mode 1. When the mode 1 at the mode 1 expression at substituting omega t equal to pi, you can get what is the value of the current at omega t equals to pi, and that is the initial value for the mode 2 freewheeling interval. So, that is the so from that you get I pi. Now, substituting this condition, I pi equals to minus E b by R A plus I 1 into e to the power minus R A pi by omega L A. So, from which you get I 1 equals to I pi plus E b by R A whole into e to the power R A pi by omega L A. So, using this initial condition, you can get the complete expression for armature current in mode 2, I A equals to E b by R A, then e to the power R A pi R A by omega L A pi minus omega t minus 1. This is one term, then other term is plus I pi into e to the power R A by omega L A pi minus omega t. This is the expression for mode 2. Then we have done the mathematical analysis to obtain the expression for the armature current I A. We will consider a more generalized picture, like mode 1 is the power on period, when the DC motor is connected, power in interval, which is the DC motor is connected to AC supply. So, this mode normally it starts from alpha and ends at pi or pi plus alpha. In a semi converter, mode 1 always ends at pi. In full converter, it will go up to pi plus alpha. This is a one condition, but if at omega t equals to alpha, when the thyristors are given, alpha is the firing delay angle. So, thyristors are delayed with a firing delay alpha. So, at omega t equal to alpha, V A, that is voltage applied, is less than back EMF E B. What happens? That means, when the thyristors are provided the gate pulse with a delay alpha at omega t equal to alpha, at that moment they should conduct. But if the voltage, supply voltage, that means voltage applied to the is less than the back EMF, then the thyristors are reverse biased. So, they will not start conduction at omega t equals to alpha, and they will start conduction at a later moment, when omega t become, when for corresponding to omega t value, when V A becomes equal to E B. So, conduction, so in this case conduction starts at theta s and it will continue up to pi plus theta s in a full converter or pi in a semi converter. So, now whatever expressions we have derived just, so in that case we have taken conduction from alpha to pi plus alpha, assuming that thyristors when provided gate pulse at omega t equal to alpha, they go into conduction. If this condition is not fulfilled, V A is not greater than E B, then conduction will start at theta s and continue up to pi plus theta s. So, only difference alpha is replaced in those derivations alpha is replaced by theta s. We have assumed continuous conduction. For continuous conduction, we have mode 1 starts at alpha or theta s and ends at pi plus alpha or pi plus theta s. if current is discontinuous, it will come to 0 at a particular value of omega t, at omega t equals to beta, I A equals to 0. Current comes to 0 at a value omega t equals to beta. Beta is called extinction angle or turn off angle. Then in that case, mode 1 ends at omega t equal to beta in full converter. In a semi converter, if beta is more than pi, then mode 1 will end at pi and pi to beta, there will be freewheeling period. Mode 1 starts at alpha or theta s, depending on the condition as I have explained, alpha or theta s. Mode 1 starts as alpha if V A is more than E B, if V A is less than E B, mode 1 starts at theta s when V A becomes equal to E B. Mode 1 starts at alpha or theta s and ends at pi, and mode 2 for pi and pi to beta. If the turn off angle beta is more than pi, if beta is less than pi, obviously there will be no freewheeling period. So, these are some analysis of current in single phase semi converter and full converter. So, using these expressions you can get the average value of the current and average value of the torque, and hence from the torque speed relationship speed can be determined. So, this can be utilized in several ways. Okay. So, torque speed characteristics which we have already drawn, I will just repeat that. Torque speed characteristics, this is the speed axis omega m, this is the torque axis, this is for alpha equal to 0 degree, semi or full converter, alpha equal to 30 degree, semi converter, alpha equal to 30 degree, full converter, alpha equal to 60 degree, semi converter, alpha equal to 90 degree, semi converter, or alpha equal to 60 degree, full converter. The characteristics are like this. So, it depends upon the expression of the average output voltage. So, these torque speed characteristics are obtained for single phase semi or full converter fed DC drive, separately stated DC motor drive. Okay, thanks for the attention.